Hey, welcome to today's training. So what we're going to be looking at is how you can effectively add up to 20% of brand new sales to your store with just one simple quick. Like this is something that's really easy to implement, and you could do this to your store today. So simply implementing an effective abandoned cart email notification. So that's what we are covering today, is email notifications that are sent out for anyone that abandons their shopping cart. Now this can significantly increase your sales over each and every month, giving you more revenue into the business and allowing you to grow. So I've got a quote here from Shopify, and it's saying that over 70 of 100 potential customers leave without purchasing. Okay, and that is higher on mobile. So 80% of people who are browsing your store on a mobile phone will add to cart and abandon it. Okay, and we've all been guilty of this, just sitting on the sofa and having a little flip through. But whether their intention is to buy it or not, you'll never really know unless you can, refire that or reignite that fire in their belly and remind them of something that they were about to purchase. Because we're all busy people, we get distracted, and all it takes is for a ping or a notification to say you forgot X, Y, or Z, and you then go back and purchase it. So that's why, this is why it's really important to have this set up. Aside from what I've just said, why do people decide to leave? Okay, now it could be a distraction, but it could also be because of extra costs at checkout. Okay, so if you're having things like hidden shipping and you haven't made that clear, often people will have to add to their basket, see how much things are going to cost, subtotal, all of that stuff, and then see any additional hidden charges such as shipping, and then decide to leave. Okay, this is up there with being one of the biggest reasons why people leave the store. Now, the second reason why people tend to leave is because they have to sign up. Okay, if you don't have guest checkout functionality on the store, then you definitely are missing a trick. If you're having to ask people to jump through hoops, input a bunch of information, register for an account, that can be a little bit of a turn off, and what they might tend to do is just find it easier to just go back, go to somewhere else, look for the product and just sign up. Now, the third reason is checkout is too long. Okay, again, it kind of touches on the last point. If the checkout process is so long-winded and you are collecting so much data and you're just kind of creating a barrier to entry, then people aren't going to buy from you. Okay, and I've got a point here. Think Amazon. How easy is it to purchase with Amazon? You can purchase with a swipe of a click. Now, if you are using the likes of Shopify, and a lot of people are, the shop checkout experience isn't as efficient as Amazon, but the checkout experience is pretty efficient. Okay, so if you are using Shopify, chances are you're not suffering with these things, but I just wanted to put them in there just to make you aware and just give you some things to consider whether you are or are not on a Shopify platform. Just consider how your checkout experience is. Okay, is the barrier to entry to allow people to purchase from you really low? Because that's where it wants to be. Now, the reason why I wanted to bring these up is because if you can fix these problems, if you can fix a problem at the source, then you won't actually need to rely too heavily on retargeting or abandoned cart checkout notifications. Okay, so if you are fixing these sources, then you're going to end up with more sales coming through the front end, and you're not going to have to rely on too much on the back end systems to pick up the shortfall. So how do we actually do this? I'm going to show you how you can easily do this in one single click using Shopify. So let's just go over to Shopify now. And from the Shopify dashboard, what you want to do is you want to hit settings, which is down in the corner. We'll just leave that. All right, and then under checkout and accounts, what you want to do is you want to scroll down and you want to find abandoned checkout emails. Okay, so with this store by default, it's on. You have an option here to either send it to anyone that abandons their checkout or email subscribers who abandoned their checkout. Now, this is the default option, and from our experience, it's actually the best option because if they've input their email address, they do have a higher intent to buy. And you want to send this after 10 hours. Again, this was recommended. Now, depending on your product, if it's sort of like a low ticket item, you can send this after 1 hour or 6 hours. If it's slightly higher ticket, they might want to just have a little bit more time to think about it. So I'd send it after 10. But guys, this is totally up to you. You know your product best, so you just have to define what time sits best with you. Now, what does this email look like? You have an option here to customize the email. Okay, and it's just going to give you a ton of code, which probably does not make a lot of sense to people. But ultimately, emails are created using HTML code, and you can see all of that here. And at the top, we've got some liquid code, which is what Shopify is built on, and you have some statements. So For example, this here, it's saying if the item count is more than 1, you put this statement out, so you left an item in your cart. Otherwise, if it's more than 1, you left items in your cart. Okay, now the reason why I'm showing you this is because you can be really nice and specific with your messaging. So if, for example, you were selling trainers, the only thing you sold was trainers, you could say you left a pair of sneakers in your cart. And then here you could say you left sneakers. Okay, so that's the purpose of that. It just gives you a little bit more customization, and that's something I definitely recommend is being able to talk specifically to your potential customers. Okay, you want this email to really resonate with them. You want it to be specific to your store, and just doing a couple of changes here and there and just switching up the default template that Shopify gives you is just going to improve the chances of that. So if you want to see what this looks like, what you do is just hit preview. And it's just going to give you an example of a pretty bog standard email template here, okay? This allows them to visit their store, or they can view the items in the basket. So that's what we want them to do. We want to bring them back, and that's the purpose of this. Now you can see here we've got some more text. You can go as far to edit this. So if we just close that. Okay, so if we scroll down slightly more, you can see some of the text that we have in here. Okay, so you can just go through this and edit this. I definitely wouldn't recommend touching any of the liquid code, or if you do have a developer or a development team, then feel free to get them to do this, or hire a developer to be able to do this for you. So once you're done here, just hit save, and it's going to make those changes for you. Okay, cool. So this is really, really important, guys. Like, if you are running a store without any abandoned cart notifications whatsoever, like, you're leaving so much money on the table. All right, just to put it into perspective, the abandoned cart emails that get sent out globally have a 45% open rate. Okay, that's over double the average retail email. Okay, the average for a retail email is only 20% open rate. Okay, so 20% of people are reading those emails, and there's even less people taking action. Okay, between 10 and 20% of people purchase out of those 45%. So let's just say 15%. All right, so just to put this into perspective, if you have 70 people out of 100 abandoning their carts, 31 of them will open that email, and then 5 of them will purchase. Okay, that's 5 in 100 people that you are able to capture. Okay, imagine how many over the month that you could get just by abandoned carts. Okay, that's why this is so important. Now, I know many of you will have these set up already, but if you don't, honestly, you need to get on it. So that's it, guys. That's all I wanted to cover in this training. It's essentially how you can add up to 20% of new sales, like within one single click. You saw how easy it was to just add this to Shopify. Okay, you just need to go to settings, check out, make sure that it's turned on, make any small amends that you need, any help from a developer, make sure you get that, and make sure that the emails are flowing properly. Now, if you've got any questions, please do let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear them. And this was a short training today, and hopefully I will see you in another video soon. Bye.